Hey there fans, this is the Gerbil and this is Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I'm going to show some 3v3 Ewoks defeating Separatists and Jedis, and look at this. I screw this up so bad. I put Wicket as my leader, not Chirpa. Wicket! Oh, jeez. That's such a horrible noob mistake and detrimental, and yet I still win. See, Chirpa, every time an Ewok uses their basic, they do 20% more damage, and they gain turn meter. And then anytime they use a special, there's a 60% chance to call in an assist, which you so need. So I have no leader benefit at all here, and they're still going to win. Now, it does help that they're high relics, but the opposing team here, they're no slack either. They're not weak. And this is a popular defensive lineup, at least in my galactic power range. I'm about 3.5 million, give or take. And this, I really, really like this Jedi lineup for second tier defense. I don't put them in the front because you want your opponents to use some of their better squads, hopefully, so that when they get to the second row, they don't have anyone who's just going to lay down these Jedis. Now, and that's really hard to beat them here because, you see, every time you hit them with a critical, Barriss is going to have them recover 20% health, and then Jolee here to boot, he's already got an insane amount of life and protection, and then of course Bastila gives them an insane amount of bonus protection at the start of the match. So the real enemy in this lineup is time. It's the clock, and that's what you're hoping to do on defense. And you would think that Ewoks here wouldn't have enough punch to get through, but they really do if you have a solid Wicket with offense or critical damage mod set on him. Now, I keep hammering away here on Jolee, and I keep noticing that Barriss is getting all that turn meter and healing, and of course Jolee's healing himself too. So at some point I just got tired of that. Barriss is a lot more squishy, and I take her out, and then I got a little luck here that Jolee didn't revive her. Now, of course, had he revived her, just repeat what you saw Wicket do. I think he just pwned her in 2 hits, maybe it was 1, I couldn't see that. Because Wicket, with the right mods, he can hit for 60,000-70,000 on a critical, maybe more. I mean, I've seen my Wicket hit for over 130,000, but it's very rare, and it depends on all of his bumps. But there we go. So once Jolee is gone, this is easy. So we did run about half the clock, but this lineup, Chief Chirpa, Wicket, Ewok Elder, it's going to be Barriss. Barriss, Bastila, even if they're a full gear or 2 levels ahead of you, you just got to watch the clock. Now this one just frustrated the living heck out of me because I'm a bright guy, but I don't do my homework when it comes to Star Wars. I really just don't. I throw my stuff at them and I learn through experience. And this lineup right here of Ewoks, I love this lineup. I think this is so much fun. Teebo, Paploo, and Logray. I'll explain why. And I didn't understand the mechanics of this Separatist defense here, which is really good. Because Dooku puts himself and Asajj under stealth, leaving the zombie as your only viable target. And of course, even when they come out of stealth, and if you get rid of that taunt, then Asajj, you've got to knock her down several times because Zombie's going to revive her too. So really, Dooku seems like the logical target, but he counters and can stun. So when you start hammering on him, unless you got a big hitter, he's just going to be counter-striking and stunning you down. And that stealth just goes on and on. But this team right here, even though there's absolutely no AoE, it's still going to win. And here's why. So Paploo, first off, he's going to absorb almost every impact in this match because Teebo's leadership says that each Ewok has a 55% chance to gain stealth at the beginning of their turn. Now Paploo, when he gains stealth, he dispels stealth and gains taunt. Every time he gains a status effect, positive or negative, he's going to recover 5% health and 5% protection. So that means stealth plus taunt, boom, he's recovered 10% health, 10% protection. That's a lot. Then as you see right there, he just gained 3 more status effects. That's another 15 health, 15 protection, did it again, and it's just going to be perpetual. So whether you use this Ewok squad as an offense or a defense, Teebo's lead with Paploo. If you just mod the heck out of Paploo with life, protection, or defense, I keep wanting to use a crit avoidance arrow on him. I'm just not really brave enough to go there, but it's insane. Even all those debuffs, he recovers from that. So anytime someone lays 4 or 5 debuffs on him, he recovers 20% health, 20% protection, and then hopefully you can cleanse him if you have somebody else around. But anyway, they wear off. So this opposing squad has 0 chance of beating my Ewoks. Absolutely 0. They don't hit hard enough because of the interaction between Teebo's leadership, gaining stealth, and Paploo constantly taunting. Now, Logray, he's just awesome in a lot of ways, weak in so many others. Obviously, he dazes them, which is how I'm able to keep some of the turn meter down. That's very helpful. His second ability there gives foresight and turn meter to my squad, just keeping my speed ahead of theirs. So yeah, as you've seen us, I've already killed Asajj once or twice. You just, again, you have to race the clock with this lineup, and you have to take advantage of the hits every time that zombie loses taunt. So like there, I killed her, and yet they're still under stealth, right? So the daze from Logray helps obviously prevent the retribution attacks from Count Dooku, but Asajj is gonna cleanse and whoop, right back. And so when I played this the first time, and the only time actually, when I realized what was going on, I was just kicking myself. I was like, oh man, I needed an AoE. I need an AoE. So if you've never seen this one, watch out for it and be ready for it, because it's pretty nasty. But I've also recently thrown on Dooku all of my... I've just geared him up recently and put a bunch of the Omegas on him to give him these stealth also. And I'm going to start using this same lineup as a second line 3v3 defense, because by the time you've cleared out the first 2 stages to get to the back, you've probably used some of your more effective attackers, and at that point, if you don't have solid AoEs or a way to deal with that perpetual stealth taunt from these guys, then this just becomes another clock stall, and it's so frustrating. But again, here you can see 3 Ewoks, and definitely the second tier level Ewoks. Teebo lead is definitely not the most admirable one, with Paploo and Logray, and they beat Dooku, Asajj, and Zombie. What a tough match that was. Learning experience for me, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Alright, tune in later. I'll have more 3v3 vids coming out next week. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.